Yes, you can overcome your anxiety. Hello, I'm Ian Bracegirdle and I run Designing Change. My main job is to help people overcome blocks to making progress in their lives using my experience and NLP skills. Today I'm going to talk about anxiety. Anxiety is suffered by up to 18% at some time or other in their lives, by some estimates in the US. Around about 14% is a similar figure in the UK, and I've read 10% for people in Europe and other countries. Even if it's just 10%, it's a very high figure. But what is anxiety? If you suffer from anxieties, have you ever wondered, why do I feel this way? Why am I like this all the time? What makes me feel anxious? And most important, how can I change how I feel? Just watch and listen for a few minutes and I'll lead you to a better understanding of what you are experiencing. But remember, you're not alone. I know it can feel like that sometimes, but really there are more people like you in the world. Like you, they have suffered in various ways. They've been ignored, ridiculed, laughed at, been made fun of, bullied, hurt in many ways, and felt rejected by people who should know better. You are not alone. Just because non-sufferers do not understand, just because they have no idea what you feel and experience is real for you, it does not mean you cannot get help. There is help available. Some of you will have been puzzled by the way the world seems to you at times. You may have been scared of having a heart attack during a panic. You could have stood red-faced as everyone around you enjoyed themselves. You may have crumbled when asked to give a presentation in front of your colleagues or others. You may be so annoyed at yourself for having to check the lights are out 15 times before you can leave home. Maybe you sat at home for years, waiting for a chance to go out of the door feeling safe. The amazing thing is that once you understand what is going on, then you can learn how to change your life. It may take time, but it can be done. And there is more than one way to do it. Anxieties come from our brains running out-of-date programs, or habits if you prefer to call them that. Habits that do not fit the world we are living in now. Just imagine this. A young mother is walking along Blackpool Promenade. Blackpool, for those of you who don't know, is a very popular holiday resort in England. It's a sunny day. Hundreds of people are walking along. A happy summer holiday scene. The woman is holding the hands of her two daughters, one aged 5, one aged 3. Suddenly, she sees a man coming towards her. He has a camera and a large python around his neck. She drops the hands of the girls. In absolute terror, she flees. The passers-by see the two girls and take them aside. Just what happened? Ask yourself, why would a loving mother abandon her two daughters? Keep listening and reading to find out. Let me start from my experience. You may or may not recognize some of these symptoms. I would blush very easily when spoken to by an attractive young female teacher, and I was quite young when I did that. I fainted when I cut myself. I always felt uncomfortable when I had to go to family gatherings. I blushed very easily in any situation. At exam time, I would develop swollen glands. As I got older, alcohol always helped in social situations. As a young teacher, I had pains in my chest. I thought it was a heart problem. The doctor told me it was intercostal angina. In other words, a strain between the ribs. I developed discomfort and tingles in my left arm and lips. Again, the doctor could find no real reason. This was now associated, in my mind, with the recurring discomfort in my chest. Sometimes later, I developed small lesions on my hands that spread miraculously to my feet. The doctor had no real explanation. One morning, I woke up very early with heart palpitations and a pain in my chest. The emergency department of the hospital could find no real problem. I had odd pains in my abdomen on and off for years. They were unspecific and moved about. After several years, I put all these facts together and concluded it was a form of anxiety. The thing is, no one identified it except me when I had some experience of helping other people with forms of anxiety. What is anxiety? For me, I had no idea that I was suffering from anxiety. It was just the way I was. For some people, that's a silly question. You know very well what your anxiety is. Then I began to use therapy to help people make changes in their lives. I'd already dealt with my blood phobia in training. However, the other experiences made me realize that I had some deep-seated anxieties too. I began to study and learn how to help myself and the other people who asked for help. I learned all about the types of anxieties. As I worked with people, I began to find common elements between them all. Here are some of my understandings. Anxiety is a state of mind and body where you think unpleasant thoughts. The thinking makes your body feel uncomfortable. Most anxiety states stem from learned behavior. This may come from one or more incidents or by watching an older person express anxiety in some form. Some forms of anxiety, though, are related to hereditary things. Often anxiety stems from childhood. Some anxieties feel very frightening, even life-threatening. An anxiety state is not harmful. Those feelings during a panic attack can be very strong, but they are not life-threatening. Long-term experience of heightened anxiety can lead to other problems. When the thinking process causing anxiety changes, the anxiety is lowered and can even disappear. Most anxieties operate from the subconscious and need to be changed there. Therapy at the conscious level does work, but takes longer. Some anxieties only happen in certain places, e.g. performance anxiety. Anxiety triggers our primitive flight-fight response. Now, just remember, you can overcome your anxiety. Thank you for watching and listening. This is the first in the series of videos that will help you understand your anxiety and discover ways to overcome them. If you want to find out what happened to the young mother and the two girls, watch the next video, which goes into more detail about anxieties. Once again, thank you for watching and listening.